Hello, I'm the Honey Badger and welcome to another video. This time I played 10 different demos during the latest Steam Fest. And I picked every single one of them with a reason behind it, of either by looks, by gameplay. Either way, here are my thoughts about those games. I hope you enjoy them and I'll see you at the end. Game number 1, Bark-War. Yeah, you heard that right. The reason why I picked up this game is because I thought it was gonna be about parkour. Because, you know, and with a dog. Because it has bark and then or. It sounded like parkour when you say Bark-War. So I thought this game is gonna be kind of fun to play through, especially because you are the dog. It is rare when video games let you be the dog or a pet and simulate as if you were that character for all of the game or most of it. But Bark-War, it's not about parkour. Yes, you do get some sections when you jump around from point A to point B, but it's not the whole thing about the game. The main thing about the game is that, I don't know if you guys remember these movies, but essentially almost that. Dog spy agents that are trying to stop the evilness of cats. I don't know to what a full extent of it does the game go, but that is the main quest of the game. It is Cat Dogs the video game, basically. And at least during my demo, you get a demonstration of stealth, combat, and some, I'm gonna call it parkour, but it's really just some movement here and there because there's not a lot you can do other than wall running. But at least on the part I played, it was not present at all. I had quite a bit of fun with it just because of the silliness, the idea of a dog being a spy agent, a James Bond 007, fighting the evils of cats, owners, I guess, because the main villain is obsessed with cats, apparently. The demo is not that long. It doesn't even let you finish the full main, like, first mission. You just get to run around for a couple of rooms and figure out how to move on. So the game does have the elements of, yes, you're doing stealth, you can just continue going on without being detected, or you could just eliminate every single human that are close to your quarters. You can decide what to do. And it was a fun game, I guess. For a demo, it was a fun game. I'm not gonna complain too much about it. It's a demo. It was interesting, to say the least. Am I gonna buy it? Maybe. Maybe not. When it comes out, of course. Depends on the final product, because at least what I got to see, I feel like it's still a little bit rough in the edges. I'm not expecting a super masterpiece in the video game, but I will expect a little bit more out of it. But if you like a game like Cats and Dogs, like the Cats and Dogs movie, this is definitely for you, because it is on the funny side of things. Game number 2, Atmosfar. Atmosfar. That's the name, Atmosfar. So this game, you are someone trapped as a criminal prisoner. They don't really tell you what you did. You just know you are in this prison cell doing manual labor. Suddenly, everything gets attacked and you have to get the opportunity to escape, right? So you have to escape. So you get the opportunity to leave this rented little place. Now, the game does start very simple. You're in this specific area, right? You're just kind of like, oh, follow the path. The problem is, I think the path is not that clear in this game. There are a lot of things that are not very specific within this game. And let me tell you, because of no specific guidance, in a very same color world, you are gonna get lost a lot. Which, granted, it is an exploration game, so yeah, it's bound to happen. The problem is, the game is not very chill with checkpoints. So, okay, so it does have a lot of checkpoints. It does. The problem is those checkpoints don't exactly tell you, well, don't exactly put you in the same spot you were at the start. They put you in the location, but not with the materials you used to have. They very much just put you dry without anything, which I guess it's a survival game, but still, after a couple of tries, especially the demo, is quite frustrating and very annoying. Now, when you get revived, it is very funny because you get dropped from the sky, like, you know, like in the Mario Kart scene where the little cloud will drop you down. This game is kind of similar because it just drops you down like you're ragdoll. Either way, back to the whole what this game is about. So you are this prisoner trying to escape the area and start adventuring, exploring the world near to you. But when you escape the prison cell, you only get a couple of resources and a ship that is gonna help you get out of the place. However, because you escaped with very little and there was like a whole storm thing, your ship gets damaged, so you have to start repairing it, and you land in this one area that is gonna allow you, where you're gonna start getting your, I guess, your footing, understanding the world in the game. Which, I go back to the same thing. The game looks pretty, it looks interesting. The issue with it is it doesn't give you a single hint of where to go, because this is all exploration. The problem is there are a lot of things within this little world that you are not able to do anything about it. Like, I died so many times getting to this one cave because I thought I was dying because the energy on my suit was running out. And that wasn't the reason. I was getting killed by things I couldn't see every single time. And I know, it's kind of like can I tell you the definition of insanity? That is exactly what was happening to me. But I couldn't understand it, you know? And when you're like, I don't know what happened to me, and you just kind of go back to understand what happened to you until you finally realize, for you to be able to have a better mobile home, and discovering more stuff. I don't know if the developers are going to go that way, but that's the only reason why I actually decided to try out this game. But after my little experience, I'm just going to keep a lookout for the game, see where the updates go, because this is just a demo. I just don't think the demo was that well planned to give a new player an idea of what the game is about. Like, you can still keep the exploration and survival to its core, but just give an idea to the player of how to do stuff and how to, at least on the start, get the things you need to get. Because there were a lot of materials around you, but sometimes you were like, do I have to pick up everything? Or should I just only grab some stuff? And after dying and dying and dying over and over again, I kept losing everything every single time, so it was very, very frustrating. But that's Atmosfar. Will I buy it? Maybe. This is a very maybe. Nutmeg, a nostalgic deck building football manager. That's the whole name of the game, okay? And it's pretty descriptional, actually. I went into this game thinking this was more of a Slay the Spire type of game because of the trailer. I didn't actually read the title of the game, which, again, completely my issue. But when I started playing it, I actually saw how intricate this is. I was not expecting to get like a level of Football Manager game. I don't know if you guys have played that game specifically, Football Manager, but it is detailed. And this one is kind of similar. It's not as detailed as Football Manager, but it does have a very high level of complexity. And I thought it was just gonna be you playing football using cards the whole time. Yes, you could do that. However, as the game tells you during the tutorial, it is not the best thing to do. it's more management. It's not just you getting cards randomly, like roguelike style, like Slay the Spire. You already have a predetermined team that you have to manage. You have to manage the coaches. You have to manage the sponsors, the ticket pricing, the finances of the whole team. You have to manage the stadium. You have to manage how your games are gonna be played, the formation, the players, the substitutions, and the only time, for example, right now in your screen, you're seeing gameplay of me playing with a card. The only time you do get to do this is when you decide to have a game broadcasted. When you have a broadcasted game, that's when you have this gameplay with deck building style. However, you're not going to be able to be doing this every single time because these broadcast games do affect how you're seen by the fans. If you lose the fans, you lose money because they are essentially the ones keeping you afloat. So you're not going to be able to be doing this every single time. And right now, I'm having a very easy time because I was giving a shot with a very good team, sorry. In this case, it's Liverpool. I'm sorry if you don't go for Liverpool. It's just this is the way the game is working. But I was able to win it. And I did like the idea of how the cards play, the percentages. You put cards on top of your player, which is the action you want them to do. And depending on that action is going to be the percentage of you getting to take an action, or between the three different options you have. So Nutmeg is quite interesting for those football lovers, specifically football managers. And if you do want to you are not that interested in the deck building side, that's fine. You could do most of the management and have a little bit of fun with the broadcasting games from time to time. I think, though, in my case, this is not our type of game, but it was definitely interesting to give it a shot. Moomin Troll Winter's Warmth. This is a very cute video game. The premise, it's an adventure game. You're gonna be doing different activities during the world, but the premise is you are this little guy called Moomin Troll. I think it has to do something with folktale from a country. I don't know. I'm actually gonna investigate a little bit more because I am loving the style, the vibes, and I forgot the word, but I guess this reminds me more to stories like Dr. Seuss type of stories. Like, yeah, it's very like for children, but very enjoyable as well for adults. I'm not gonna lie. Unless you don't like this type of game, then you are absolutely gonna look the other way because there is no combat. There is not any skill checking. This is an adventure game of exploration and doing some puzzle solving that is very like simple-ish. So, Moomin Troll, you are this creature that sleeps through the winter. However, something happens in your parents' house. You wake up and the parents are still asleep, but you hear noises around the house, so you start to investigate. And you end up following a creature outside of your house. And for your character, this is like a culture clash kind of thing situation, because he's never been awake during the winter. So this is a whole new experience for him and a whole new view of the world. Because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think the game was gonna go that dark when it started, but it kind of did go a little bit dark, because at some point you discover a creature that could be potentially dead by cold, like frozen still in the ground. And I was like, whoa, really? We're going this way? We definitely went that way. Either way, this whole game is gonna be about adventures of Moomin Troll discovering winter, and also giving a hand to those in need during those times, which is not everybody's cup of tea, right? But it is definitely within my cup of tea. I am gonna be playing this game once it comes out, and I believe it comes out around April 16, 26. I could be wrong. It's one of those two, but definitely gonna give this more than the little time I was able to play it on the demo. Herbert, that is the name of this weird looking dog, and also the name of this weird strange game. So in this game you're essentially a German Shepherd trying to herd animals. Basically, that's it. You are, at least that's what I got from the demo. It's not that long of a demo. It's like 20 minutes long demo. But I'm gonna say I already played a game where I'm a dog, right? You are the spy dog. And in this one you're gonna be the farmer dog. But I'm gonna say this is a very rough game. Like, I feel like this is very early stages of the game. Like, they really probably you know what this demo made me feel? It's like they only worked on the parts the player was gonna be wandering around. That's it. Other than that, I don't think they started actually. Maybe they have like a rough base of what they want to do with the game, but there's probably not a lot to the rest of the game. That's how it feels, because the mechanics are kind of strange. You can bark, you can run, but the way, because you bark so the sheeps move, right? So you can herd, but you cannot. You have difficulties herding them, and I have a feeling like at some point the sheep have their own path to follow, because when you bark, how can you decide which direction? And I was guessing like, okay, if I bark but I'm standing on this side, they're gonna go the other way, and it kinda ish worked to some point and degree when herding the animals. So I will stay like bark at them to make them move, but stayed on the side I don't want them to go. I don't know if that's how herding works. I'm trying to become a border collie in this game, having the mentality of them. But it was super short. The only thing I got to do was herd a couple of sheeps, and then after that there was like a combat section, very rough combat section, where it's like middle of the night, you finish your work on the day herding the sheep, and then your owner runs away because they heard a gunshot, so they go towards the gunshot because that's where the other farmer is, and you see a wolf in the distance, so your character, you as the German Shepherd, start chasing that wolf. And then you get to the point where it was such a long, and this is why I'm saying, like, I feel like the demo was just made for the player to have an idea of the game, but like the game is not really like fully completed, because it was such a long section of running, of just following the scent, but nothing else is happening, and I mean, it's fine, I guess, but then you get to the section that is like a circle. You know those circles, oh, this is a boss fight, and I was like, am I fighting a wolf right now? And I jump in, and I thought we were gonna have this very epic like battle type of thing. No, you just bite each other with RT over and over. There's no block, there's no dodge, there's no dash, there's not. You just, the bark becomes the bite, and you just bite each other to the death. Whoever bites more, I guess, wins. But you don't have, there's no health bars, there's no indicators. You just bite until the other one, I guess, until the next cutscene happens. And that's it. That was a game. I just had that combat, the herding those sheeps, and that's it. That was the demo. This is a very rough game still in the state it is. I feel like I was playing an alpha version of the game on just the very start section, because the graphics look rough. The design of the dog and the lady, the movement, the animations, all of it is very rough still. It's a demo. What can I say? I gave it a shot. Am I gonna be playing more of this, of Hubert? I don't know. Probably not. But I do want to have more video games where I'm the dog. That's all I'm gonna say. I want to be more video games of me as the dog. Please, developers, make it happen. So, Armistice. This game is actually quite interesting looking. It reminded me a little bit of Expedition 33 with some Gears of War. I'm talking about the style, not the gameplay. Gameplay is different, is very, very different from both of those games. I think it is a roguelike game. It's more about getting upgrades, fighting monsters, defeating the area, stuff like that. I forget the name right now on the top of my tongue. If I do remember it, I will add it on the screen, but the game I'm thinking of it's very similar. The Armistice is way similar to that game in gameplay style. Now, what do I think overall of this demo? It was just like any other roguelike shooter game. You have your sections, your enemies appear, you have to clear that area before you can continue. If you do, you get the power-ups and stuff like that, and then you get to a boss section that is very similar to everything else. I like the shooting felt nice, the abilities felt interesting. Some of them are, some of them are a bit helpful during combat. Others, I cannot say they're different styles. It's pretty much as you expect, right? It's a shooter. You shoot everything. If not, you use their abilities and you clear the area. That's I'm really having a hard, now that I'm thinking about it, having a difficult time trying to say a lot of good things about the game other than the art style. I think the art style was my favorite thing about this game. But other than that, I think it's still a pretty rough game. I kind of wish, my most nitpick about it is, I kind of wish it wasn't such a small area that you have to clear. I don't know if because it's the demo, it's had the way it's working. I wish it was more of an open sections that you had to traverse, bigger open sections. Because one, I do enjoy the art, and I wish I could just continue exploring, but once you get to the main, like, you see around, you run a little bit around, you've pretty much seen all of it. I don't know if outside of the demo there are gonna be, like, secret pathways that you could actually see, get collectibles, or get lore about this place. That would be super fun if you could get lore, because I think that the thing that struck me the most about this game was the dead people standing like stuck for forever for the rest of the time. I kind of wish I could know more about them, hear their stories, how they got to where they are, stuff like that. So it isn't just like, oh, it's a figurine standing. But Armistice, am I gonna play it once it comes out? Not likely. I'll be looking out for reviews about it, people commenting on it, and depending how, when I look at gameplay, depending how I feel about it, and I might decide to pick it up at the end. Animal Kind. This game is cozy and freaking cute as heck. You pretty much, as I said, it's a cozy game. So you can imagine a Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, more type of game. There are very few elements of combat, or none at all, non-existent. I mean, at least the demo I played, I didn't have to lift a finger to fight someone else at all. You're just on this island, you have to help a portal to reconstruct itself, and you play as one of three things: a corgi, a cat, or a raccoon. They are freaking adorable. And you mount this mech that helps you do things faster or more efficiently, and also carry weapons, because it's kind of silly seeing a cute little raccoon running around with a pickaxe on his hand or its mouth. I don't know. But you use the mech to do different activities that you would expect from any other cozy survival games: collect, harvest, craft, move faster, all of those activities, because in your normal body of the little cutie critter, you're not gonna do much. You can talk, there are other NPCs around and you can talk to them, but you have to be outside of the mech, apparently. You're gonna find a little squirrel that she's pretty much like she has a monopoly on the island. She sells everything for a very high price, and then you have to buy stuff of a very high price. And then there's an owl that is actually just there to chill and talk to you and help you around with stuff that happens on the island. I really like the looks of the game. I am a very much of I don't tend to play a lot of cozy games. I do from time to time, but for you to really capture me outside of, I don't know, Stardew Valley has my heart. So Stardew Valley is my go-to for this type of survival farming games. But this game actually I'm kind of interested on it. Though the issue, I think it will be a game that it's definitely a lot more fun to play with friends, because this is supposed to be like a co-op experience as well. All of your friends are gonna have a mech and they're gonna be critters and you can do silly things around. But I think it will be a lot more fun if I were to play with friends. Am I gonna play Animal Kind once it comes out? Maybe. I'm giving it bigger hopes than other games that I played on these demos. But it all depends really on the final product, because it did feel on the demo, I did feel like it was a little bit rough. I mean, what am I even saying? What am I thinking? These are demos. Of course, all of them are gonna be rough. But I do wish I could have seen a little bit more of the game. But I can see what makes it really special, though. They are very cute critters, I am telling you. They are so cute. Inconbini, or Inconbini. I don't really know how to say this name because this is a Japanese word. If somebody can help me out in here, how do you spell this or say it, pronounce it? It would be really appreciated. Either way, this game is a store manager simulator on the core of it, but it has some details around it that make it a little bit more different and special than other store management simulators I've played. First of all, there is a main character, there is a story, so it's not just a nameless worker that starts managing a store. There is actually a story behind why you are there. Look at it like Stardew Valley thing where you get inherit a farm. In this case, you don't get inherit a store, but you're helping up your aunt who owns the store. And then you have to, it has like the routine normal things of a simulator store manager. You have to buy the items, you have to restock the items, but you also have to be very careful how you put the items, because apparently, yes, you can restock the shelves, but sometimes the shelves might be restocked incorrectly, like the labels are on the front instead of the front cover of the item. I don't know how to call it, but I'm gonna call it like that. And you have to rearrange them. Like, you have to be very specific, because some customers like things to be very well organized or with labels on behind and not on the front, stuff like that. And then at the end, you have this little bit of, because there's a story, the customers that come in or will come in also have a story behind them. At least from what I got from the demo, the one customer that joined in, he has a history with the aunt, and you kind of discover a little bit about it, and you talk to the guy, and he tells you why he likes coming to this specific store, why he likes to come to the store so late in the night, because you open the store late shift, not on the early shift. So it has a soul. The game has a soul. It is very much more structured than other store management simulators. And I would say what I also really liked is the talk it had about this specific type of job. Because currently I work in something similar. Not specifically like a store like this, but something very similar where it's customer service related. And it does remind me of those moments where, yes, customer service jobs are very annoying and deteriorating and boring to a point, but sometimes you do get those moments with customers that are very special, and that you kind of, even days, months, and sometimes years after the interaction, you still remember them, either fondly, with disgust, depending of the interaction, but you do get some of moments similar to the ones mentioned on this game. So I did enjoy the idea of talking about customer service in this way. Am I gonna play Inconveni after the demo and once it releases? Probably. I'll probably try it out once it's on a sale, because it's really not on the top of my to be played list. currently for this year, but I am definitely more interested in the game now. Wild Blue Sky. This game has you playing as anthropomorphic animals that pilot jet fighters. Yeah, it's an interesting game. It's all about shooting. It's a shooter. I will say that the reason why I played this game at the start was because it reminded me a lot of a cartoon that I used to watch when I was younger called Stormhawks. The vibes, the looks, and the jet fighters, it brought me back a lot of memories. So I definitely decided to, that's why I decided to give this demo a shot. Otherwise, I don't think I would have played it. And you know what? Unfortunately, after playing the demo, I am not interested on the game anymore. It's a shooter. I diced it at the start. But it's a classical shooter game. If you are more into classical type of games where you have a specific path that you have to traverse and shoot down the things, then I think you're gonna enjoy this a lot. And I think this is kind of like a love letter to other classics. Well, not love letter, but it's definitely, it recalls classical game style of games from many years ago. Because I definitely you don't see this type of gameplay anymore as often as it used to be. And if you're interested in shooters like this, I think you'll definitely enjoy it. I personally, after the demo, I don't think I'm gonna keep on playing it. I like the idea, the style, the story. It reminded me of that cartoon I used to watch and love. But other than that, this is, yeah, I'm not gonna play it anymore. Rewind 99. This game allows you to go back in time and play as a worker in a Blockbuster store. Or a Blockbuster style of store. This is not a Blockbuster simulator, but it is a simulator of a store like a Blockbuster. What am I even saying? You know what I mean. You are renting VHS to customers, and you make the orders. You order the different genre of movies. At least on the demo, they allow you to do animation, comedy, action, and sci-fi. You also order snacks, and you put them on the store. And then the customers come in, and they start renting their movies, as well as grabbing snacks. So I'm gonna say the thing that attracted me the most, it's not just that it was the idea of being a Blockbuster simulator, but it was also because the style of the game. This looks like, and I'm gonna say it, and a lot of people are gonna be like, you know what? Yes, it looks exactly like that. Doug, I think Disney cartoon. It was a cartoon from way back then. But the looks of the customers, the people, the staff, the oversaturated colors, it reminded me a lot of that cartoon, Doug. So let's say you are in the universe of Doug working in a Blockbuster. That's pretty much it. That's the entire premise of the game. But you know what? It was a fun game to play. Because it also had like the names of very well-known movies. Like, you have to buy to purchase an animation movie called Finding Emo instead of Finding Nemo. Or it's just when you read the titles, you immediately know. You know what movie is talking about, or the parody name that they're giving it specifically for that movie. I remember it's like Try Hard, or Illegally Blonde. You know exactly what movies those are. But it was a very funny game. It was very fun. The experience was funny. The overall gameplay, it was interesting. I'm not sure if this can be played co-op. I hope, because there are things that the game asks you to do a lot of stuff and it's like, oh, you have very limited time. Or I don't know if the game is trying to like keep you entertain or moving and doing, and I mean, not to make it boring like other simulators where it's very plain, like, oh, you just stand here and do the checkout. I hope that I hope there is like a little co-op, because it will be definitely very fun to play this game with other people. But the other reason why I really liked it is, and it's a funny story, because I remember when Blockbuster was still a thing, and I was not of age to have a job, but I remember thinking, this is the first job I want to have. Like, I was so into working into the Blockbuster for some reason. I mean, I love movies, but I was like, I'm gonna work on a Blockbuster as my first job. I was like determined to do it. And then when I finally got to the age that I could actually work in a place, Blockbusters were gone by that point, unfortunately. So at least this game in a way is helping me have that opportunity to actually play as my dream job, quote unquote. Dude, I swear, if I could work in a Blockbuster, I will definitely do it. I will do it in a heartbeat. I love the idea of doing it, but oh well. Either way, Rewind 99, and we're gonna play this game once it comes out. I think it already came out. I think. By the point this video is coming out, the game is definitely already out. Am I gonna purchase it in that case? It's an early access, and from what I played on the demo, I'm definitely gonna let it cook a little bit more in the oven. I see the resemblance and the good things about it, but it's not quite there yet. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time. So hopefully the developers do get back the feedback from the players and they do make a few changes that personally I don't know what type of changes could they make. Maybe the looks of the store, the shelving spacing. How can you make it look more like a Blockbuster type of thing? I don't know. But I'm definitely gonna wait till that happens before I do make a purchase. Well, that is all for this episode. I'm the Honey Badger, and I hope to see you in the next update of my adventures. If you liked the video, leave a like, or if you liked any of the games I just played on these demos, leave me something in the comments talking about it. Let me know which one do you like the most, which one you didn't like at all, or even which one are you interested in playing it on your own. All of this really helps. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Keep on gaming.